Men. Sorry. My mics were unadjusted. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of the Urban Age. And in fact, Yameazi, properly known as Uyamkela Masika. That is my full name. Today is Wednesday. You know what time it is. Wednesday, metro 6 nje. Yes, but Urban Age. It's a standard procedure today. Today is the 3rd of April 2024. Ndiyamthanda ke lo nyaka uthe chu, but at the same time, man, you know, it's going with the flow. So I love that. But okay, as call up for that reason. This evening I have guests and I have special guests. And when I mean guests, akakopye, but babini baphulaphule nababukele emakhaya. And you know what? One thing about the urban age, we learn. We come here to learn, we come here to educate, but mostly we come and engage with people and we want them to relate with everything we're talking about. So Nyanda's gonna busy nje. I call upon the founders, I call upon the CEOs, I call upon everyone I feel in Dokokba will come to the urban age and make a difference. And I'm here with none other than Umama NCEDISA VELLEMAN, and she is the founder and the director of SISEKO Artisans and Management Institute. But ndifuna azazi ngokwakhe as the CEO angathethelwa ndim as I'm nearly doing umsasazi mna, but yena she's here with a bigger role and she's here to educate more ngabantu, and the reason why she's here, siyabamkela kwi-urban age, Mama VELLEMAN.
Thank you, Yamkela. Thank you for the opportunity of coming to your show.
Siyabulela mama. Just tell us briefly irole yakho kule institute kuthiwa iSiseko. Just brief role, what you do there, and nje ubukho bakho buthetha ukuthini phayana.
As the founder of SISEKO Artisan and Management Institute, my role is to direct and make sure that the vision speaks to what is it that we are all about. And what we are all about is about changing lives. How do we do that? Through skills.
Okay.
And we believe that skills have an opportunity and it actually can change your life for the better. And it's for everybody. So
true.
My role is to make sure that at all times, the company is focused on how we can make skills available to everybody in any walk of life.
I just want to know, so you spoke about e-vision, which e-vision always aligns or much rather speaks to emission statement here. So how does emission statement here sort of guides the decision making within educational practices then by SISEKO?
In changing lives, it's important that we always seek abo bantu who need our assistance the most. And in this case, it's a group of people who are not necessarily thought of in the mainstream as abo bantu who can learn. And these are people who are very good with their hands.
Okay.
Intelligence was fun.
True.
There are people who can remember what they did 10 years ago. Exactly. There are people like me who can't remember what they did at 10 o'clock today.
So akfanani.
So that being the case, it's very important that we understand that we learn differently. And all of us are intelligent, but their intelligence to
IFAN.
So there is someone who will be able to tell that the song that you played Gathandiswa Mazwai athina magama, and then there's some of us who are going to mumble it, and
because the memory is not the same.
Exactly. And how we learn is also not the same. So what is important is for us to direct abo bantu who are learning differently to what is appropriate for them.
Okay.
So young people, young at heart people like me, we still, are continuing to learn. And how do we learn things, through izandla, various ways. And those people are also welcome in all of what makes a society to rich.
Yes.
I always make an example. Can you imagine if all of us were doctors? Who would cook?
Who would clean?
Who would clean? Who would drive? Who would be a policeman? Who would? So there's always space for every one of us, and we're just as important as everybody else.
True.
Even though in society continuously think that there are some people who are better than others, we're all very important. I like the fact that Ukith Ngesi is radio station is a faith-based radio station, and iBhayibhile ithi, we all have indawo, in God's place.
True.
And that makes us all important. And I believe all of us have a duty of trying to find what is it that is important, that will make it possible for you and I to make a contribution in making society to thrive, and make space for, young, old, abled or disabled, tall, thin, curved, and
dark light,
welcome.
Yes, everyone.
Exactly. So in our space, we make sure that we start from there and say, you are intelligent, you are beautiful, you have a role to play.
Yes.
Now let's work with you to try and find that role for you, and with you. We also have a foundation, MST Skills Development Foundation, and where we also mentor you, in your journey. Usually abantu, when they come to our institute, they never leave, in the sense that there's a hub, where we continuously talk to you, and you talking to us, and find out what's happening in your life. What are you doing? Take a picture, post it, ask for advice, and also, send out advice, information that is happening within our space. If there's a learnership, if there is a training program, we will say, what is happening. And you also have a role to play in that as well, that you can say, there's an opportunity, who is looking for,
this and this.
Exactly.
Yes. And that whatever opportunity it is, it will definitely benefit the next person.
Exactly.
And go see Mamo Vellem. So with everything you've just said now I want you to sort of take us through sort of take us through the curriculum structure that you use going forward, because I know in Okokuba any institution existayo ayenzi nje, has to go by imigaqo, it has to go by a certain structure ezawusebenzisana with the people that you welcoming within institution yakho. So please take us through that one.
We are guided by the Department of Higher Education, and Training. We are accredited with EQCTO. We're also accredited by various SETAs, which includes MESETA, Services SETA, MICT SETA, amongst others. And that guides the policy of how we deliver our training. We specialize in occupational skills training. Occupational as in working occupation, So in other words, on the job training is very, very important for us.
For you guys, yes.
So 75% of the training is actually practical, and only 25% is theoretical.
Yes.
So we usually try to blend even the theory within the practice. So if you come to our training center, you will see tools, you will see machinery, you will see power tools, you will see screwdriver, spanela, isakulo, you will see paint brushes, you will see wires, zombane, you will do something with your hands, and you will repeat doing that with your hands.
Yes.
And indlela otestwa ngayo is very different in occupational skills. Your final examination is how you do something.
Yes.
How do you fix a car? How do you do paint? How to paint a wall, So for us, more than anything else, it's not how many things you will remember that you were taught, but how will you be able to accomplish a task that you will be given. And not only that, you must be able to accomplish that task within a set time. We are also able to visualize your examination. So in some cases, if you want to have an oral examination when it comes to the little theory that we do, you don't have to write it. You actually can say it. And we take a video, and that is acceptable. We take any age.
I was about to say, sorry to interject, but can you also take us through the enrollment process? Also, now that it's so
we'll take any age. Different skills, they have different requirements when it comes to regulations, the Department of Higher Education and Training. Our highest grade that is required, grade 9.
All right.
If we go grade 12, clever good. Grade 9 for us, we are fine.
You cool, yes.
Yes. And in some cases, in some training programs, there isn't even a requirement for you to have
any sort of grade.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's very accessible. We do skills training, short skills training, and we also do full qualifications whereby let's say you do an apprenticeship on how to be an electrician, and that would take 3 years. So you would do 3 months at the training center, and the rest of the time you would be working in a place where there are other electricians who can mentor you. And you do that for 3 years for level 1, level 2, level 3. And in those levels, you are able to, on level 1, you start with the basics. And then it gets more complex as you are going to level 1, level 2, level 3. Additionally, you are able then to go for a trade test, and in which case you can have what is called a red seal, which is to become a qualified electrician. But also within that curriculum of being an electrician, there are short skills that you can take. So, for instance, with plumbing, you would be how to fix a tap, a leaking tap. Would teach you how to fix a leaking tap, and that's it. So that is called micro-learning.
Mm.
So you learn what you need. So if you want to learn how to fit in a bathtub,
Okay.
then that's what you learn.
Mm.
And so on and so on. So the opportunities for short skills, for instance, of how to fix a refrigerator, air conditioning. You would also learn how to weld. Weld a gate, that sort of thing. So, which is where as our requirements then change. So at our institute, anybody, we would be able to learn something.
Okay.
It's very accessible.
It's very broad.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mama Vellem. The Tanda Lindwitetayo in terms of how accessible the program is. And also more than anything, in life, you can't really predict journey as a person. And not sonke soba not sonke sizawuba lawyer. We're not all going to be journalists. So there's the Tanda, but you guys cater for other aspects of life esizidingayo thina sizezo zinto sizizo kwezi positions zisikuzo, and the sources of life that we need. Xa nisithi umntu niyakwazi umfundisa i-plumbing aplumbishe, kukho amanzi ngoku komnye umzi awagqigqiza ayadinga iplumber. So it caters for such, and nabo they feel ukubana i-purpose yabo is ikhona nje apha ebomini and it's needed. So enye into endifuna ungene kuyo mama, so ke xa begqibile ke ngoku with the process, at which point now nibakhulula nithi okay yabona ke ngoku uyi-graduate kule level ke ngoku of program makuyo?
Yamkela ndiyithethayo about having a purpose is very critical. We all live in houses that are built by people that we train. Whether uhlala egalini noba uhlala ku-4 rooms or uhlala endlini, even nendlu yomkhwetha is built by someone that is trained by people like us. We all open up a tap and kuphume amanzi, and those people are trained by people like us. It's not cimicimi wombane, and we are part of that ecosystem, your mbane. So it's so vital a role that skills they play in everybody's life.
Yes.
And as such, there's something that you brought in, we don't know, ubomi bethu babuzawusithini.
Yes.
When I was growing up, my mother was a nurse and also a community worker.
Okay.
And one of the things that she instilled in us was that kufuneka ungazulambe. Ukuba ngaba awuqashwanga, it shouldn't be the end of the
world. Yes.
You must be able to do something. I'm a professional quantity surveyor. I graduated from UCT some years back. Up to date, akho nto indenzela inhliziyo ebuhlungu njengothenga ispinach.
Okay.
Where I live kwa NU7 eMdantsane, ndityala iigadi ezintathu. Ndityala le yam, ndityala eyase next door, neyomnye umzi engasetyenziswayo. And that makes it possible into uba ndinike someone an opportunity to have a job, but also lando iti, when push comes to a shove, I still need to be able to, to live, from the soil. Ndiyakwazi uthunga. Into yoba nje ndibhizi ngapha koko, I'm a very, very good seamstress. And there is nothing wrong in actually having more than one skill. And that is so important in the life that we lead, so that you can have a side job, I'm a very big believer in having a
It's
side
side job,
yes.
kanye side hustle.
Exactly, exactly. And also having some of the things that you can do for yourself. Ladies, for instance, you know, they will find, picture, you know, I have my own toolbox, you know, so that makes it possible, you know, you know. So it's part of where Lando iti, you don't know where your life will lead
you. Yes.
But also, in terms of careers, there's a lot of a combination of career needs. So you will find in Doba, as a professional quantity surveyor, there's something that brings in some of the skills that I learned at home or I learned wherever in life, you know. So those are the skills that are just as important. So it's not only for the people who need low electricity or electrician as a career, but also when I am as a journalist, there's nothing wrong in you learning a skill. Absolutely nothing wrong. DIY is a very big thing.
Yes,
you know,
and then
where we
ndiyazi
live-
uba izawundithatha indibeke phi ndiyi-journalist ndinjalo.
Exactly. And some of the savings that you will make, you know, in your ability. Now, coming back to where do you exit?
Yes.
In all of the funding opportunities that we usually get, which comes from all the sitters, they always look at how will you exit umuntu. So ungamlahleli ngeskill uthi go on and be a wildcat. It's important into ba esa skill sihambe ne business skills.
Okay.
We are living in a society where unemployment is rife, and particularly for young people. For those who have isakhono of being business people, that's part of what we do. We package it together with some business skills. We make it practically, Yongalendo. You know, how do you open up your company? We partner with NCEDISA, or they have a program called Business in a Box. There's also STRAP, and in some of the programs that they provide, they even give you a startup capital, 150,000 rands for you to get your equipment, you know, to start you or on your journey. And on top of that, as which is where the hub comes in, because we incubate you, you know, while you're going on a journey as a business person. So you're getting your certificate, you're also getting into business, or you go for employment. We will look at how we can channel you to people who can assist you with putting together your CV, be in various databases so that you can be called in for jobs. We have a good partnership with, in collaboration with Ubumbi Ngomso. I was in a meeting just today talking about young people, you know, how we can make a difference in their lives. They offer not only how to prepare CV, but also they will also assist you with computer skills. They also have an opportunity on all small business foundation, where there are microloans for 10,000 or so you to get going,
to get you started.
Yes. So we don't just stop, you know, when you get your certificate. You know,
it's an ongoing process.
It's an ongoing
yes.
process.
Especially because nina VELLEMAN ni trainer abantu who are going a very long way. So when you train someone, or when you train umtune, trainele into yokokuba le field akuyo, they could start a very big business that could go a long way. So merely giving them a certificate, but okay, uyigqibile indima yakho apha eSISEKO, now fly high. It doesn't end there. So kukho ke ngoku ezi micro funding uthetha ngazo that they get, where apho izawuba si-start for bona baqalise ke ngoku, and then they spread their wings.
Exactly. You know, if you come to Arcadia, apha eMonti, Arcadia igcwele ezi small businesses. Small businesses who do exactly what we teach.
Okay.
You know, there's one owenza steelworks, omnye wenza cabinetry, ikhabhathi zamakhitshi, wardrobes, and so on. Igcwele Arcadia. There used to be, and there still is, all small business environments. Mdantsana kwa N11 kukho small business phaya. And economy yethu as a country is driven by small businesses. And truth be told, ukuba ngaba we as ndifuna uzifaka ke kulo young people, no young at heart.
Zifake ntombi, you are young at heart after all.
If we all think in small businesses that can grow to be bigger businesses, then you are able to absorb and build each other as you grow. You know, so it's not only about you when your income, but also it's giving opportunity to someone else.
That's true.
To learn from you, but also, you know, to pay it forward. So for us, it's important incubation and how you leapfrog a business, you know, to move it forward. We also invite abantu who are business people, you know, within the field, you know, to come and talk. You know, what are the challenges? You know, how do I get a job? You know, how do I tender? How do I look after my clients? You know, client relations are very important. How do I put together a tender that is different from others? How do I pitch my business, you know, and what are the tricks, you know,
on the book that you can use to be different from the others?
Exactly. And that is very important because you have to have a competitive edge. You know, so how do you make that competitive edge? And sometimes just by one thing, customer service. Customer service. You know, everybody has a story about a builder that didn't treat them well. How about being that builder that actually will do a good job and be courteous and be respectful?
True. Very, very true. Siyabulela, Mama VELLEMAN. I can't stress this enough. On top of what she's already said, that it's very important, just without even looking far ngento business and thinking, bana, all it needs is money. Customer care. Knowing how to treat people, knowing but you can't just do whatever or say whatever. You have to have approach so that there's this saying that says that people can forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Exactly.
So once you make omnye feel inferior from you, libale lo mntu lo, because you find that lo mntu lo akazibana into intle yothetha ngawe. So that is a very beautiful skill to have as a business person outside of esisezandla usifundisiweyo esiseko.
Exactly.
I think nam xa noqala business, that's the first step for me. And it will take me far, even if I would not even have the admired capital to start. But approach abantu, it will definitely take me far.
And it's so important, you know, in the African culture, greeting is one of the critical things. And we are unique in the world in that we greet. There was a time that I had an opportunity to go abroad, and because I went into a shop and I greeted, you know, and they would burst out laughing. But I assure you, those people did not forget me, because I said, hi, this is who I am, and you are. you know.
Baske bahleka.
Exactly. And you start a conversation ngolo hlobo,
With a
but
greeting.
you also bring business ngolo hlobo, you know, because kaloku immediately uthi, this is who I am and this is what I bring, you know. And immediately usithi with an open face, you know, I'm able to paint your house, and within 2 days I'll be able to do it, you know, with a smile, and you actually do it.
And you actually do it.
You know, so that is very important.
All right, Mama Velem, we've spoken about the very important parts of our interview, but now I just want to know, so what resources do you have within your institute that sort of assists students? For example, I'm talking about the counseling. You know, students go through a lot. So are there any resources as yet that cater to students as in counseling?
I want to mention 2 types of students.
Okay.
There are students who, young people, you know, coming to a training center. There's transition between being in school, noba say a training center, and preparing you to go to a workplace.
A workplace, yes.
And one of the things that we start with the emotional intelligence before we start teaching you anything, we start with the emotional intelligence. And that is very important because you need to be able to acclimatize to the skilling upper and living with people, and also being prepared to go into the workplace.
Yes.
We also talk to students who are older. And I want to mention specifically military veterans. We had an opportunity of being funded by Rheinmetall to train military veterans. They are older, and some of them were as age, even early 70s, you know. And one of the critical things that we were able to do was not only within the sphere emotional intelligence, but also to cater for their needs. Remember, if you were in the military and you are decommissioned, in which case in the military,
okay,
most likely, or in some cases, you have injuries, you know. So we were able to tailor make programs to accommodate, you know, the different needs, and that also speaks to disability. You know, so we're able to make programs that suit the different people, you know, that are coming to our space, including counseling. We actually have a dedicated staff member who is client and student relations, and she's my sister-in-law.
Okay, nice.
Usisibukelwa ke ungumama ka everybody, uzawulila nawe, you know,
Londuzanayo
akungcolise nokungcolisa, akukhangelisa indawo yohlala neyothini njalo njalo, you know. And that is very important because we are not a big institution.
Yes.
You know, it's a small institution. She will know your name. You know, she will know your name and the challenges, and make it possible in Doba City. How can we assist? If I sit, how can we bring in people, you know, who can assist? Which is where the different partnerships come in. Yes, because they have social workers, you know, they have counseling services as well as health services.
All right. Properly, if you've just joined us, we are in studio. But seemingly the other guests are blind spot. But nonetheless, she's also here. We come like and yes, she is part of the communications and marketing department SISEKO. But here and there. But nonetheless, yes, I am still in conversation with Mama VELLEMAN. She's giving us everything we need to kickstart future yetu. whether sikweyiphi na walks of life, but she's here and she's guiding us. Mama VELLEMAN, ke kukho i-comments apha ezithile that are asking very important questions. So I will go step by step. Ungabe ucomplainayo othi ndiskiphile kwathini. Okay, so kuthiwa ke uthage ukhuselo mahambi. Can you guys also touch on Black military veterans programs? I hear you guys are big on those. So touchile ke wacho uba no, of course you guys are big on those. No kuba ke what is the whole, you know, aspect of it. But if kukho enye into ofuna uyongeza Mama VELLEMAN, you are definitely welcome to do so.
It's an exciting program. I must tell you, Black military veterans, it's delivered to us by MST Skills Development Foundation. As I had said, funded by Rheinmetall. It's a munitions manufacturing company. We were blessed to have South African Defence Force, no Department of Military Veterans to assist us in putting together that program. And basically, we in the last program, which was one of our biggest programs yet, we did plumbing, we did building, we did carpentry. And my goodness, those guys, they amazed me. You're never too old to learn.
At all.
Skill. You're never too old to learn. And not only that, what I like about them is that they didn't not only learn a skill, but basenza benza businesses zabo. You know, omnye uthi ndenza udonga kwam.
Yo.
So it's that practical into your skill. I was so impressed, and we're hoping that we can get additional funding for Lonyaga, but also more importantly for the beneficiaries. They are young people, you know, so that we can take that forward. We want to add, you know, more programs, some of them around culinary skills, hospitality, you know, and expand that program a little bit, so that it doesn't only focus on the hard skills, the artisan skills, but also look at how else, you know, we have 2 ladies who are beneficiaries of military veterans whom we were able to work with us in the company. They are doing catering with our guys, and we're saying there's a talent pie, you know, that we can nurture and take forward.
Definitely. All right. Omnye umbuzo ke Mama VELLEMAN uthi how important is it? Okay, Manduves. How important is it, for example, an electrician to keep on studying beyond his or her qualification to keep up with the innovation? Do they stop studying?
No.
Okay.
Remember, let's take for instance, if you had gone to a TVET and you did your Ns or you did your NCV, you would still need to do your occupational certification to become a qualified electrician.
Yes.
Because you had done a diploma at TVET. But things are changing all the time. Take for instance, inverters, solar power, you know, locimicimi. It's so important that you get into what is happening, you know, within the sphere. Innovation yenziwa all the time in how, you know, we can be electrified. Auto electricity, that's another opportunity. We're talking about the electrical vehicles. You are also talking about computers, how or technology, phone, you know, says my friend. How do you learn so it's very important that you don't stop.
You don't stop.
But not only as an electrician, In life generally, you must never, never, never stop learning.
Because the sky is also not the limit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. All right. Next question, Mamo VELLEMAN, is from Mr. Keith Ngesi himself. Utata westish. Do they also scout for artisans, especially those you normally find at traffic circles and by robots carrying their tools? Of them can get training, I believe, that will make them attractive to potential clients.
That actually is a beautiful comment and a question. Yes. You know, one of the main challenges is to polish our skill.
Okay.
And I had spoken about customer care and running your own business, micro or any other one. But also, most importantly, in creating platforms where people don't need to be on the side of the road.
All right.
You know, they're busy with jobs, but they continue to market. It's a conversation that we're having with NCEDISA in how we can create platforms for those people exactly, so that you can know ubani uno 3-star, uno 5-star, and this person can do your job better. But you know, it's on your phone. You know, you can Google and find a platform for abantu abanjalo, and there is a lot of opportunity for retraining at the moment, a lot which has been brought in by the focus in funding training. So that's actually one of the programs that we're looking at very, very, very strongly.
All right, Mamo VELLEMAN. Hey, time is not against. In fact, time is against us. It's not on our side. But man, for having you on the show. But before Sivale, I would like you to add anything of it's going to enrich someone's life. Already so already and already we've learned that you don't stop, you keep going, and you understand your potential and know your purpose yakho life in ba. Just because ulapha doesn't mean you won't be where else or somewhere else in like 20 to 30 years to come, or even 5 years to come. So I would like you to add anything that will enrich anyone else's life out there, or to say enriched, but just for control.
Yamgela, one of the things that I believe is important in any sphere of life is moving forward.
Yes.
We have to move forward. Ukuba ngaba ichomi zethu bezisathetha indaba ezinye kulonyaka neziza kulonyaka kuphelileyo, you need to think twice about those. You know, we actually need to move forward. It's important that to grow, you know, to be better at what we do, to continuously improve. If we do that in our lives, you know, you are able to make an impact ikukulenda ukuyo nakwabanye abantu nabo benze exactly the same thing. You then make a sea of abantu who are game changers. Ability of moving forward as a country, as a society, as abantu abamnyama, abantu abamhlophe, any community is to actually have that drive. It doesn't matter that namhlanje I will be moving forward. Nobanza benikhasa ayidamsebenzi
okusalayo ndiyaphambili, but ipace yam mhlawumbi izawungafani, but okusalayo I'm going forward.
Exactly. Yes, moving forward. So that's my advice all the time. Move forward.
Hey, move forward. Make sure to always move forward. She is the founder and the director of SISEKO, Artisans and Management Institute. Mapulapuli, thank you so much for joining me. We Urban Age. It is a Wednesday, and it is our 5th edition. We are not chilling. We are moving forward. We are moving forward. So, and that will make you want to move forward in life and not be stuck in one place. Because I can't was feel you stuck. You know, there's people who umbona umuntu hayibo lo muntu uyaqhuba mose life kwenzeka ntoni, but yena azive stuck endaweni eyi-one, and you find ba lo muntu lo needs some sort of motivation to be moving forward. So wena uthi noba wenze njani icebo makazenzele lothini loqhubeka aye phambili. Mandibulele Mama VELLEMAN for joining us up at Kifingesi Radio. It was an absolute honor to have you, and just for sacrificing ixesha lakho elingaka phofu for coming here and just communicating with us. Ndicela ulayita imic kalo sisi athethe, because anomane ndisithi kukho i-guest yesibini apha and then yena angathethi. So sisi, please come to the mic and introduce yourself, one, utsho nawe irole yakho, and also just a few words for the people. Cela uphinde undilungiselele imic kancinci sisi. Okay, try again.
Molweni guys.
Awurhayela undisondele lapha. I think sondela kancinci so that they can also see you, because elaa nto ndifuna bakubone. Because ke let me also fix on my side. But ke sungafuni uvela. Sungafuni uvela. Eyona nto endiyilwayo yileyo yoba ungafuni uvela sisi. Vela nono. All right. Ibaluleke no communications no marketing ubaluleke gqithi, makathethe naye. Nanku ke baphulaphuli usisakhe. She's so beautiful. She's also a part of the team. Ndifuna zichaze ke naye and also just take people through irole yakhe, but ayisummarize nje ngenxa yexesha.
Not a problem, Molweni guys. Firstly, thank you for having us. SISEKO. I'm the communications and marketing coordinator.
Yes.
SISEKO. And my role is basically part of what we did today, just making sure bana a message SISEKO, our ethos, our abilities, the accessibility a company is out there. People know who we are, where we are, and how to get a hold of us. So ndimgelo. But on the flip, part of my job is being Sabo, a journalist.
Yes.
And a little birdie told us when Uyamgela has a birthday coming very, very soon.
Oh,
So as part of, well, thank you, Rito, for having us, and a very, very happy birthday for tomorrow. We thank you for having us on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't imagine. We are telling them to kind of birthday, but probably are coming. But I don't know Mantini, but nonetheless, thank you so much, Sisi. This is beautiful. This is an absolute Analo Mantini. This is my first gift, by the way. And she decided to be the first person, no Mama VELLEMAN, to gift me. Thank you so much, guys. I don't know how to Landuza. You guys are my first guest for April. April, and I can't say I've run out of words. I've run out of words. But nonetheless, as Papa said, as Bani Bona, I got a gift, and the gift I had such an honorable time. It was such an innovative interview, even for me, because now one day I'm going to benefit from the information you've shared. Where you might look at me and think I went out so good because grade 9. But okusalayo, if I want to start a business, lay information I needed it. If I want to start a business, because I can't say in Dipelele Apobute, all we need to do is move forward. Everyone needs to move forward. Properly, it's been a lot, but nonetheless, I appreciate everything. Diabulela Nani for tuning in. Now next week, I will be here with the Urban Age with myself, Uyamgela Asange Masika. Otherwise, for now, Manditi, good night. And to everyone